We were in court last week trying to get additional discovery per the court wanted an update on discovery. We said we needed more. And who was there fighting us? The Justice Department, protecting Hillary Clinton on her emails in Benghazi. So last week, the Justice Department is protecting Hillary Clinton. This week, the Justice Department is confirmed to have given James Comey a get-out-of-jail-free card. Do you share my concerns? Thankfully, the court in this case gave us the discovery we asked for. So we got some good news. Our heavy lifting is getting results. Our lawyers spent the last 5-6 months taking discovery of witness after witness. I think almost a dozen witnesses, new information on the Clinton email scandal. And we had more questions as a result, and we wanted more discovery. We went into court and we asked for it, and the court granted us virtually everything we asked for. We were before Judge Royce Lamberth last week, and Judge Lamberth went in there. The Justice Department was attacking Judicial Watch. Yes, the Justice Department was attacking Judicial Watch for wanting to ask additional questions about one of the most significant government corruption scandals in recent American history, the Clinton email case. Which, by the way, is the very basis for the Russiagate case, because they needed the Russiagate scam on President Trump to keep the Clinton email issue suppressed and to protect her. So we go in there, we've asked for a few more witnesses, we wanted a few more documents, and we wanted to ask Mrs. Clinton questions under oath. We wanted to ask Cheryl Mills questions under oath. Her attorney received immunity, who was also at the State Department with her as her chief of staff, or chief advisor, I forget her title. I think it was chief of staff. So the judge gave us everything other than the 2 depositions of Mills and Mrs. Clinton. And he said that Mrs. Clinton's lawyer was there, and he gave Mrs. Clinton's lawyer 30 days. 30 days to respond to our request for the deposition. So things are proceeding. The judge granted 7 additional depositions, 3 interrogatories, which means these are written questions we can submit that have to be responded to under oath, 4 document requests, and of course, as I said, the depositions of Mrs. Clinton and Ms. Mills, that will be decided in 2 months or so, or actually less than that. The court rejected Justice Department and State Department arguments that no more discovery be conducted. Frank, at best as I can tell, I wasn't there, based on the reports from my colleagues here. The judge was really upset with the Justice Department for presuming that discovery was ended when in fact he had made no such order. And this is what I think is very interesting, because I think it's part of the scandal. The Clinton email scandal is a scandal obviously because of Mrs. Clinton's mishandling of classified information, destruction of records, obstruction of justice, things like that. But it's also a scandal because the State Department and the Justice Department helped her cover it up and let her get away with it. And so we had some questions for the Justice Department lawyer involved in this case and the State Department lawyer handling our FOIA case as well, about what they knew and when about Hillary Clinton's emails. Because the judge, in initially granting us discovery, he's like, look, you tried to get me to shut this case down without telling us that you had 12 banker's boxes of Hillary Clinton's emails that you weren't telling us about. So I want to know what went on there. I obviously want to know whether Hillary Clinton was using the system to thwart FOIA, and I also want to know whether her emails can be found. So we get to ask the Justice Department attorney and the State Department attorney questions about that. So this is deep state accountability in addition to the accountability for the person you all know about, Hillary Clinton. Oh, wait, and we also, we already served discovery on Mrs. Clinton for a key document her lawyers created. So remember, they quote, produced all the emails to the State Department, other than the 33,000 they tried to delete or hide improperly. How they select those 30,000? So she had, let's say, 60,000, right? Half of which they turned over to the state. The other half they kept because it was all about yoga, which wasn't true. So how is it they figured that out? And what did they do? What was the process? Well, the lawyer for Mrs. Clinton, who deleted the emails and did the so-called separation, wrote an after-action memo. So we found that out through discovery. Not from the FBI, who supposedly investigated this too, but from our questioning by our intrepid lawyers. So this after-action memo, the judge allowed us to request the document from Mrs. Clinton. So we served the discovery on Mrs. Clinton and her lawyers last week. I don't know whether they're going to give us the full document or not, but the point being that Mrs. Clinton has to turn over or tell the court why she shouldn't turn over by asserting privileges this document about her handling of the emails. And you're going to love this. You may have seen reports about how Mrs. Clinton's email guy, Paul Combetta, had supposedly sent her entire email cache to an email address at Gmail that happened to be the same email name, same name as a Chinese company. All sorts of weirdness there. So it looks like all of her emails were at this one address. And this was discussed in a letter by Senator Charles Grassley recently. And Charles Grassley, he's been tracking some of this stuff on his own. So he's to be commended for doing some basic investigative work as a senator. He's not even doing it as a chairman of the committee. So the court said, I follow Senator Grassley. I know who he is. He respects him. And he goes, I want Judicial Watch to shake the tree on this new Clinton email cache that's been disclosed. So this is significant new additional discovery, new witnesses, a new topic. Mrs. Clinton may be deposed under oath by Judicial Watch, and we're doing it all over the opposition of the Justice Department and the State Department. And Judge Lamberth, we've known Judge Lamberth for years. We've been informed of him on many significant cases. And I guess during the hearing, he said, you know, I'm offended because everyone says this email issue came up in one case. It came up first with me, with a Judicial Watch case. The Commerce Department case, the Clinton administration, essentially we found and proved through our FOIA litigation, was selling seats on taxpayer-funded trade missions. The government would send a plane load of corporate executives to foreign countries with the Commerce Secretary, and the Commerce Secretary would advocate for the governments of those countries for contracts for these corporations. As a conservative, I don't like the idea of the government advocating for contracts for corporations abroad. But if they're going to do it, you shouldn't have to pay campaign contributions to get on the plane, which is what the Clinton gang was doing. So documents were going missing in this Commerce case and being removed from the Commerce Department. And Judge Lamberth, I think he sent marshals to get documents and get them back. So they have the wrong judge if they're going to be playing games like they've been playing. That's why we have the discovery we have. And our legal team deserves a great credit for being diligent in this regard. Judges can only do what they're asked to do. They rarely do things on their own. And Judicial Watch is not going away on this. And as I said, it's not just the Clinton emails, it's the Benghazi scandal as well. Because the judge is concerned that the reason we don't know about they were trying to hide the Clinton emails is because they were concerned that there may be embarrassing information about Benghazi in it. So Benghazi is front and center in this case. Now, I know the political class tells you you're not allowed to talk about Benghazi anymore. Well, I think it's a pretty bad scandal, don't you? 4 Americans were needlessly killed, and they tried to cover it up to make sure that President Obama won re-election. And it turned out her emails certainly covered this topic.